In today's episode, we're going to get deeper into the wonderful connection between epigenetics, personality development, behavior skills, and RGB analysis.
My world started when I was very small. I'm born and raised in the state of Kuwait.
What is it that you do professionally?
Today, I'm a genetic analyst where I take care of children from 6 years and adults from whatever age till 70.
What is epigenetics?
So epigenetic has much to do with behavior and environment based on your genes.
And how would you define the various elements of what you do, which is personality development?
Behavior starts in the womb of the mother, not outside the womb of the mother.
Wait, I need a second to take this in. Anything that the mother went through emotionally.
Yeah, from 9.5 weeks to 19.5 weeks
Right.
is the fingerprint.
Is that the reason why every fingerprint is unique and different?
Yes.
What then is the best way to deliver a child that is stress-free?
Normal delivery.
But now that the child is born, what is the earliest that you can start training a child?
For this particular science is from 18 months. When the baby
months.
opens his hand.
Let's just say there's an individual who is easily stressed. Is that all due to what happened in the mother's womb only?
This is the other voice I heard when I was inside the mother.
Yeah.
What happens when it comes out? We take that newborn baby and give it to a babysitter. Already there is panic.
Right.
But if the baby already had anxiety, now this becomes a trauma to the baby. It's a stress.
People in this segment are required to be resilient.
Yes.
Do you have any practical tools and strategies from the field that you come in that can help them be not just mentally, but also physically and emotionally resilient?
Any CEO, any top management need to do their own genetic behavior analysis. The reason is they will know themselves and therefore they'll know their stuff.
Can your behavior and environment actually change the way that your genes work? In today's episode, we're going to get deeper into the wonderful connection between epigenetics, personality development, behavior skills, and RGB analysis. Joining us in the studio today, we have a wonderful woman who is a force in the field of human potential. She craftfully blends in the art of communication, healing, and personal mastery. And she does this over diverse fields such as personality development, behavior transformation, and much, much more. So join me today, and I'm so excited as we go deeper into the layers of human growth and connection. Before anything else, here is the lovely lady, Elizabeth Percy. Please, would you introduce yourself to our audience who don't know you yet?
Shall I say good evening because it's past 6 p.m. here? Yes, so my world started when I was very small. I'm born and raised in the state of Kuwait. My mother has been in the medical profession for many years. And I learned to be a journalist, a professional in communication, to be an aviator, to be in aviation communication. And I saw the skills that were lacking in the world today because all my roles were top down and not the hierarchy usually is down up, but that's not the way I was raised, and in my careers were not like that. So top down, when you watch things, life becomes more clear. And I saw the struggles of my people, my own struggles, and I learned to professionally and personally work on them. Today I'm in a science and I'm a genetic analyst. I always wanted to do something that my mother could not complete. So in the first part of my life, I was with aviation, journalism, which is my dad's line. Now towards after the 50s, I am now in the areas of my mom's, which is medical science. Genetic behavior analysis has got many hooks to it. So it has to do much with our personality, behavior, and environment. Behavior and environment coins our personality.
That's fascinating. Thank you for the detail. But if I had to ask you, what is it that you do professionally? What would you say?
So today I'm a genetic analyst where I take care of children from 6 years and adults from whatever age till 70. Now, being a communication specialist and having held top positions, with ruling families of Kuwait, Qatar, and Ras Al Khaimah, and still training members of the royal family, I must say that communication does not happen if your inner skills are not working, if your anxiety is wrong, you won't be able to communicate. So, this has been my lifeline. From the age of 11, I started speaking very late. And today, the genetic report says that I was autistic as a child and I belong to the spectrum. For all of you out there, don't see autism as a taboo, or don't see it as something that you can't conquer. Autism is a behavior.
Wow. If that does not inspire, I don't know what else will. Um, there's so much I can talk to you about, Elizabeth, but I feel like for the benefit of the audience, it's so important to simplify terms that are very science-based. So if I could please start by asking you, what is epigenetics? How could you just simplify that for us?
So, epigenetics has much to do with behavior and environment
Mhm,
based on your genes.
mhm.
But if the behavior and environment will change, then the genetic influence also shows changes.
Okay. So that's what epigenetics is. Okay. And how would you define the various elements of what you do, which is personality development? What does that mean in very simple words?
So basically, we look at behavior because one of the components of personality development is behavior.
Mhm.
And we have to hack behavior. Otherwise, our skills and competencies will not be to its highest potential. So, as a genetic analyst, we have child report and adult report. Both will show the behavior while in the womb of the mother. Behavior starts in the womb of the mother, not outside the womb of the mother. Now, the behavior depends on the mother's uterostress and the neurochemicals created during the pregnancy and what thoughts she has been subject to or has been infused to by the spouse and the environment.
Mhm.
The baby is influenced by that. That is why 9.5 weeks to 19.5 weeks, when the brain is being formed and the fingerprints are being formed, it's very important how the pregnant mother behaves and what environment she is in. What thoughts does she have? What food does she eat? These are very important factors.
You mentioned what happens in the mother's womb is critical, but you also drew reference to fingerprint, and I'm wondering what the connection is between the two
Okay.
of them.
So when the brain is being formed
Mhm.
with all the neurochemicals of the mother and the uterostress, that's the fingerprint.
Wait, I need a second to take this in. So you're telling me anything that the mother went through
During,
emotionally,
yeah, from 9.5 weeks to 19.5 weeks
right?
is the fingerprint.
And that, first of all, I'm fascinated, but is that the reason why every fingerprint is unique and different?
Yes.
Because every mother goes
Yes.
through a different,
Face in
yeah,
every pregnancy.
I'm fascinated.
Once upon a time, I had
Mhm.
students who won from the home, but today I have all siblings as my students.
Right. And can siblings be different from each other depending on what the
100%.
mother went through
Yeah.
during her
During
pregnancy?
each pregnancy.
Wow.
Maybe one pregnancy was normal, maybe another pregnancy was forceps. The delivery was forceps. One delivery normal, one delivery forceps, one delivery maybe a vacuum baby. Or as I have of late, a 6 month old, 6 month pregnancy only. The baby was delivered in as the 6th month.
So, talking about pregnancy, what then is the best way to deliver a child that is stress free for the fetus?
It says for all concerned, the best way is normal delivery,
Okay.
but it does not happen because the mother
Mhm.
is not trained before marriage on her food habits, her meditation habits, her mind habits, her tranquility, her intrapersonal skills. She's not trained. Now, today I have 3 of my students who came to me before their marriage, and then they got married. Now the babies are born, they're fine. Whatever the mother is going through during the pregnancy affects the baby.
Okay. And I feel like with what you shared, I now understand why my sister and I are so different. And when I
Yes.
look at the people in my network, why the
Yes.
two siblings are different from each other.
Yes.
This makes perfect sense. I'm really curious, though, about twins. The mother's experiencing the same thing. Twins come out.
Yeah, but
But
still,
I
it can
find
be.
difference. I find a
Yeah,
difference.
it can be 2 different eggs,
Right.
and more of the mother maybe went to one egg, and the other egg not so much. But it's all trainable. It's all trainable. The report, 28-page report, for children is separate, adult is separate. But whatever be, it will tell us the inborn state of the baby. Each report states that. So we have to scale it through training wherever we have to, and we have to also measure where they are to make according to the intelligence. Is it crystalline, means going up, or is it fluid, going down? It's very easy that the report shows where the multiple intelligence is during the pregnancy, inborn state, and after. So we have to work on it. The first line to work on it is with the meal plan.
So when you said it can be, everything is trainable.
Trainable.
So you're obviously talking about the mother while she's pregnant, so we can give the baby its best. But now that the child is born, what is the earliest that you can start training a child?
At the moment, we can do only from 6 years. But the best for this particular science is from 18 months. When the
18
baby
months.
opens his hand, we can do fingerprint. And it takes 18 months, 2 years to open the hand.
Right.
Then we can start the fingerprint so that we interfere early
Right.
to train the parents.
So you get the fingerprint when the baby is 18 months, but then you train the parents on how to
Yes.
create a good environment,
Yes.
a more
What to
cohesive
feed the
environment for the
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Wow. So you spoke about RGB analysis. Can you tell us what that means? And what is the connection between RGB analysis and epigenetics, personality development, and behavioral skills?
Yes. So, as epigenetics says, behavior and environment matters. RGB analysis tracks the behavior from the womb of the mother through the fingerprint.
Right.
And RGB analysis shows the observable side and the unobservable side of the behavior.
What does that mean, unobservable side?
Unobservable side is what people don't see. That's the anger level, bitterness, worry, anxiety, mental stress, depression. It shows these. And if these skills are tamed through food and all the trainings that we provide other than RGB, and put it to the skills and competency sector, then the person will be at his full potential, his or her full potential. What we do today in the world today is we say, he's a good child, just because he's performing as per your thoughts. But he may be able to perform more than that. So I was autistic as a child. I started talking late in life. And then today I am here. I'm a trainer. I was in aviation. I was the right
As a pilot,
hand.
isn't it?
Yeah. So for a microlight.
Yes.
Okay. And then I was also in communication in aviation. I took media to different parts of the world. I was the right hand to several members of the royal family. And I was the director of corporate communications for Russell Khema Civil Aviation, Airport, and Airline. Expatriate woman.
How did you change that?
Right. So, in all this, my area was communication.
Mm-hmm.
But when I became a trainer,
Mm-hmm.
communication is still my area.
Correct.
But communication will not happen if there are gaps in behavior.
Understood.
So, when we say the other side, we have to tame anger level, which is anxiety plus anxiety equals anger.
Mm-hmm.
Resentment, it's all coming from the womb of the mother. So the mother needs to work on all this.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's going to eat food when she's anxious, when she's pregnant, she will also send undigested food to the baby. If she's anxious, she's sending anxiety to the baby. With the millions of cells that's being transferred from the mother to the child, with all these ingredients, it's going into the baby.
Understood. I want to go back to the fingerprint analysis, right? So you take a fingerprint. How long does it take for a full report to be generated? And what are the various components that one can expect to see once this report is generated?
Yeah, so the machine will take each finger.
Mm.
So we know what happened in this month, that month, what did the mother, which medicine she took, did she have a hump if she's in India, did she go through an auto rickshaw, right? We'll know everything in that. Okay, and when was she when was she very anxious? Did her serotonin work or not? The report will show everything.
Mhm.
The analyst will be asking these questions while the fingerprint is being taken
Mhm.
because it will showcase on the system. It will take almost 36 hours to generate the 28-page report. It will talk to us about the brain frame, the mind frame, that's the brain type and mind frame, the communication, listening skill. Is he hyper, not hyper, hyper or hypo? Where do they stand? From a scale of 1 to 12, it's graded. Then, grasping skills, mental fatigue, people cooperativeness. Will the child or adult accept authority? Can he be a career person or can he be a business person? Where is the creative resourcefulness of the person? Can he do when all the tools are there or can he do when the tools are not there? Where is acceptance? Where is perseverance? Where is leadership? Where is time management? Where is self management? Will he complete his work? Everything is in the report.
Okay.
Then, if it's a child, which is the right, which is the path for the child for career? Where is career? Where is passion? If it's an adult, in the corporate structure, where does the adult belong with the full potential? And where does the adult belong? Otherwise, what's the best career for the adult? All this is shown in the report. So when we are training them, we have to hack the food because their potential is not coming out to its fullest because the food is not providing the ingredients in the gut liver brain axis.
I'd like a bit of clarity, and I'm going to position that as an example. Let's just say there's an individual who is easily stressed, gets anxious. Then is that all due to what happened in the mother's womb only?
Womb, her full environment.
Okay.
Okay. If it's not taken care of,
Mm-hmm.
uh, before 6, that
Mm-hmm.
means from 2 to, and as soon as the baby comes out, etc. Like today we have working mothers.
Mm-hmm.
So there is who will carry the baby?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the mother? Any baby has got two recognitions. This is for food. This is the other voice I heard when I was inside the mother.
Yeah.
What happens when it comes out? We take that newborn baby and give it to a babysitter. Already there is panic.
Right. Right.
But if the baby already had anxiety, now this becomes a trauma to the baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stress. But the report shows, is there mental stress? Where is his anger level? If it's very high, he can't manage stress.
Mm.
So we have to work on the food.
Okay. So, what I'm trying to understand is there is not a single case study where the mother had a loving environment while she was pregnant, but the child somehow, when they grew into adulthood stage, developed anger or anxiety or depression.
Now, there, of course, if during the childhood,
Mhm.
that means from 0 to 20, if the environment effects are there and the child was not very strong as we presumed, then it will show as trauma.
Okay.
So parents need to talk to their children. Conversation is important. If we can hack all this before 20, then the adult report will be different.
Mhm.
But if we are going to just say, okay, they are good in school, we are not bothered about that. That's IQ. We need the EQ to be right. Without EQ, there's no long standing life. They will not be able to go through the motions of life as they should. EQ is important. We have seen in COVID, we got our most number of cases during COVID.
Mhm.
Okay, and then we were awarded for leadership.
Yeah.
So if the EQ is not right, that means they are working emotional, logical. We have to turn to logical, emotional. This is very important. And the report will say in the multiple intelligence, is the logical emotional right or is it emotional logical? It will show two types of memories, episodic memory or semantic memory. Episodic means the child or the adult remembers all the bad scenes and bad situations in his or her life with all the colors. Semantic means they let go and they live their life. Okay, so this is there in the report. That's a caution area.
Mhm. So, what I'm hearing you say is that the chances of an adult developing behavioral issues that affects themselves and their families adversely with anger, depression, etc., is not something that's contracted as an adult, but it has come in from
Through
the mother's womb
genetics, yeah,
from before and the
and not
environment
managed.
and not managed from from
Yes,
before. Understood. What is neurodivergence? And can
yes,
you talk about what it has to do with autistic children and adults as well, please?
yes. So simply, when they any behavior that does not reflect as we as society wants is gone into the category called neurodivergence. But for us in RGB analysis, we see everything as an individual behavior. So autism is, if the report's going to show me hyper or hypo, then there is an individual behavior I have to take care of. We put it in soft skills as an individual behavior. We don't term them hyper, we don't term them autistic. Okay, then we will take them and we will manage them. Of course, they'll run around the place, all this is there, but the food is hacked. At this point, we also have joined hands with one of the Ayurvedic centers. So if these kids are not going to make much difference or still their weight is less, etc., the Ayurvedic centers take them for custom based massages depending on the report of RGB.
Okay. I want to now shift the conversation towards the segment of the audience who are corporate professionals and business owners.
Yes.
As you know, a word that is really personal to me and means the most to me is the word resilience. And a lot of my clients are corporate professionals and business owners. So, my question is, people in this segment are required to be resilient.
Yes.
Do you have any practical tools and strategies from the field that you come in that can help them be not just mentally, but also physically and emotionally resilient?
See, we can give some tips, but the fact is, if the report is not on the table, then they can do the tips, but they will go back to where they come from.
Right.
Right? So, any CEO, any top management need to do their own genetic behavior analysis. The reason is they will know themselves and therefore they'll know their stuff. If they are not clear of who they are and they are shouting all around, then they have no resilience. But maybe the report will say 10 out of 12 is anger. So they will shout. That means their anxiety is not managed. They may be drinking or they may be smoking. All this is going to affect how the person's gut liver brain axis will work. You're taking off the oxygen from your brain. Sugar is the enemy of the brain. So if you're going to drink, your alcohol is actually making the brain to have a fuzz effect, and it's actually going to affect your liver. And if you do not know where's your anger, then and your anger is 10, that means every day your liver is getting affected, because the emotion that affects the liver is anger. So there is a way to manage anger. There's a way to manage work. Now, the report will say, are you methodical? That means, do you do one, two, three, four, five? That depends on your brain type. Or are you expressive, expressive? Internal way is 80% expressive, external also 80. So you're an angry person. You're going to just shoot out. Or are you expressive, impulsive? That's even more dangerous. It's 80% expressive and impulsive. So the management is food, irrespective of whether your anger is high or not. If you can eat steamed beetroot with steamed green apples and then squeeze lemon when you're eating, your liver is taken care of.
Why steamed?
Because I can't say take raw. Some people may not like raw, and I don't know the quality of it outside.
Understood.
So
And it's also easily
basically,
digestible, I
this
can
is it.
imagine.
We should give our body easily digestible food. The oil we use is very important. You can cook, the easiest oil is coconut oil. You can cook in that. When you're serving something, you can dip in olive oil and eat. Olive oil is not a cooking oil. You can serve. If you dip any number of things in a day in olive oil and eat, you'll be very healthy. See, there is a wrong concept on soluble fat, but a soluble fat is needed for the body. We have 100 million cells and they need food. Our emotions make the cells like that. So today we use sound therapy to make the cells this way. If our cell energy is not there, whether we eat or drink, it doesn't make a difference. We need cell energy. So I say, when you're anxious, do not eat, sip water. Put a piece of lemon in water and sip water. At least your liver is taken care of. If you get angry throughout the day, once a day, you have warm water every hour till evening, then have a warm soup.
It's interesting you didn't say drink water, you said sip water.
I actually have to teach you how to sip water. It's not drink water. Your cells need to get refreshed. So when you sip water, you sit down and sip water, even the anger level moves down, anxiety moves down. The amygdala is not calms down. This amygdala we have to take care, because that's the panic button.
I've noticed in some cultures they recommend sitting down and drinking water. I personally don't. But now that you've said it, I'm curious as to the logic or the science behind
Yeah.
it.
So when you drink water standing up, it goes to the kidney and it just flushes out. But when you sit down and drink water, then you're actually feeding your cells. Today we are running for life, but the fact is, what are we running for? We are not running for anyone, and we are actually destroying our own self. So all this work we do, we earn, we build empires. Who will sit on it if children are not made aware of their life?
Yeah.
There are habits, there are timetables for eating. You can't just eat anytime. It depends on your sunrise. When did you get up? According to that, your clock is ticking. You can't just sleep anytime, you can't just eat anytime. It's not correct. Even if you don't do a good job about your breakfast and dinner, when the fire is high, that's in the afternoon from 12 onwards, depends when you got up in the morning, you eat good food at that time. When I say good food, not processed food.
Okay, I want to dive deeper into food. Definitely understood don't do processed food. You mentioned beetroot. Any particular reason why beetroot? And is it any other fruit, vegetable, meat that you recommend?
No, each report will show me how much the person can eat, but we say 70% vegetables, 30%, 20% meat, 10% starch, etc., is needed for the body. But some reports, we will have to put them on an 80% of vegetables for some time for the body to wake up because they have not fed vegetables at all. That's very difficult for the gut to work without vegetables. You cannot have any meal without vegetables. You cannot.
So, this is one question that's been really dancing in my head for many years now, and I haven't found an answer. I'm hoping you can give it to me. Organic fruit and vegetable, or it doesn't matter?
See, what I say, I can't, we really can't say which is cleaner and which is healthier because it depends how it's produced.
Yes.
Really. So you need to take care how you wash your meat, how you wash your fish, how you wash your vegetables. In some countries, there are two kitchens, one for meat and fish, and one for vegetables. They have two fridge also. I've been there when I was a child, when I was not allowed to go, but I've been there. So I have seen, and it matters. Combination of food also matters. People eat biryani and eat curd. It's not a combination. People eat chicken and they will eat curd. No. With non veg, there is no yogurt. Rice. Children have so much deficiency today. So, which rice is important for the child or adult? The report will showcase to us. RGB will tell us everything. And the parents, if they are below 20, the child has no access to the report. It's the parents who are briefed and they are guided. We have to be very careful when we are bringing up children. That's why we have this course called Child Behavior, Child Development. And a grandmother is actually my student because she wants her grandson to be right. So it's important that children are not just parceled into a house and a maid saying, maid, you call the maid and say, did he have his food? What food? Where's the mother providing the food? Emotions of the person cooking the food is very important to the person who's eating the food. I'm not saying you cannot go to restaurants, etc. I'm not saying that, though there are certain things involved in it. But the family needs to be happy to rear a child. The child needs time and space. If you can't do that, you have to think twice if you need a child or not. You cannot just package him here and there. Today we have many displaced children. What do you think is their state of affairs? It's something to think about.
No, that's a topic that's very dear to my heart. I mean, you
So
have
if
to be
I'm saying all
responsible.
this, then what about them? They
That's
too
right.
have potential. They too have skills. But what are we doing?
No, you're absolutely right. It's a topic that's very dear to my heart. I mean, I believe people must be responsible before making that choice to have children, not just
Yes.
after giving birth to them.
Yes.
So grateful that you mentioned that. So relevant across the world.
It's very important. And partners must know that loyalty to one partner is very important. These are the factors that RGB shows up. Where is this? Where is this? The other side of yourself. And this is very important if two people are planning to get married. We have students who just found themselves in my office and they said, we love each other. And I said, well, you just flew in for this. How do you love each other? And we just had to do confidentially and see their compatibility. And then we have allowed them to be compatible 1 year. We only needed to watch their movements. And then they've got married and they've got lovely children today.
So it's a more educated and scientific way of an arranged marriage.
Yes.
Okay, I get it.
Or a love marriage.
Get it. I want to go back to our dear corporate professionals and business owners. One of the most common things that they face is at the workplace is daily stress, decision fatigue, as well as energy dip. So my question is, do you have any practical tools and strategies that they can apply during work at the workplace so
Yes.
they can calm themselves down and manage that better?
First, don't start your morning with coffee, though
The norm.
that's the norm.
Yeah.
Don't. Warm water with lemon. That's the first thing you do. Second, when you're sitting in your space, write down your plan for the day and don't go out of that, please. Something is thrown in. So, in between two spaces, when you have little time, you sip water and look into that matter and say, okay, I can deliver that on so and so date. I lived in an aviation for 15 years. And you can imagine when I became director of civil aviation, airport, and airline of Russell Kema. I was always on my toes. But being a daughter of a medical doctor and having seen life through in many scenarios, I learned to take each step diligently than in rush. In rush, our adrenaline goes up and there are always mistakes. You have to first calm the adrenaline with your water. Sip water, very important. I don't know how many corporates drink water. I really don't know. But instead of the keep that coffee aside, black coffee with lemon is good for your liver, but keep that coffee aside and you can sip water. Water should be your best friend. There's another three ingredients also which is good as a drink. You can take cumin, fennel, and ajwain. It's called carom, and you can boil it with water and keep the drink next to you so that you have enough of energy and even if you eat food from outside to a certain level, parasites, etc., are taken care of. I say eat cooked food. Home food is very important for every corporate out there because what you're going to just grab and eat a snack, it's not going to help your brain with zinc and magnesium. Pumpkin seeds are very good to be just, you can eat anytime during your work time. Also, pistas are very good, almonds are good, and walnuts are good for the brain in the morning. But you need to walk. You need to walk on grass. You need to walk on sand. You need to sit down. Your pelvic region is full of stress. How will you manage the day?
So, just to summarize that, if one were to be stressed at the workplace, then definitely one of the ways to manage that is to get food cooked at home that is cooked in a
Yes.
healthy fashion.
Yes.
And hopefully, they do the RGB analysis and
Yes.
they're able to determine what kind of food to eat, what time
Yes.
to eat extra.
Exactly.
The second thing that they could do is carry nuts and seeds, as you said.
Yes.
Is there anything else they can do at the workplace to manage stress?
So I am also a trainer in sound vibration. There are different vibrations to calm our anxieties. Those vibrations or frequencies can be switched on, and you can put it at a low sound or at no sound because it's a wave, it's a sound wave. It'll still calm the space. Most important, your space energy has to be taken care of. So when you 2 days is off, suppose Saturday, Sunday is off, already there's a stagnant energy in the workplace. Now when you enter, put some music on, which you feel has got water in it. Water and water is a good sound to remove any sort of energy blocks in any place. Put it at the lowest sound wherever you are comfortable. And that's a good way to also make you do well. Now sometimes maybe we are an over anxious person, maybe you are hyper, then we have to get you from here to here. So alpha music is very important. Alpha music to work, you can put it on and you can work with that. I work with that. according to the energies in my office, according to the student in front of me, I immediately switch on different music. Because some people cannot talk also, their energy is too high and they're so anxious. But I need my students to talk to me, adults or children. So according to whoever is in front of me, I switch the music on, but I also clean my space with music after the person left. It's very important.
I love that you talk about music and frequencies to clear your space, but having worked in that life, in an office space, it's not always easy to play music. I know you gently suggested that keep it at the lowest volume.
Or keep it on zero volume.
Or you can keep it in
Yes,
zero
there's a
volume.
sound wave.
Right. So if you put it on zero volume, then the vibrations help.
Help everyone. So
That's
I
interesting.
have a creative designer from one of the big companies in UAE, and he just wanted to manage his space because too many designers together. So he just does that from morning to evening. And he said
Right.
in 3 months he found the vibration changing.
I'll be curious. I would really love for everyone to try this if they're inspired and let us know in the comments how this worked for you. But this is just not a try one day scheme.
Yes.
You suggest to try it for 3 months, isn't
Yeah,
it?
3 months.
Try it for 3 months
Yes.
and just kind of take a look at how you're doing
Yeah.
each month at a time.
Yes. Very important. And this director of art, he also is our RGB student, and he's doing very well today because art is something you can't create when you're stressed. So you have to know where you stand. Food matters,
Yeah.
exercise matters,
Mhm.
walking without your leather shoes matter. Stop living in your shoes.
Stop living in your shoes and start walking on grass.
Yes.
Does the beach, walking on the sand on the
Yes.
beach, have the same effect as
Yes,
walking on
yes,
grass?
yes.
Okay.
And the water, seawater is very important to remove the negativity around us. All this is electromagnetic energy, right? So just taking salt bath every morning and night simply neutralizes all the electromagnetic effects and people and energy effect. That also neutralizes. Salt bath is everything everyone can do, the children and adults.
When you say salt bath, is that magnesium salt or sea salt?
Just normal salt.
Really? That's
You
incredible.
don't have to do all this. And go and swim in the sea.
Oh, yes.
Swim in the
That
sea.
has always made a difference to me.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
shifted my state
Yes,
just
yeah.
like that, and I feel brand
Very,
new.
very important because we are living in people energy and space energy. So salt bath is important. Even leaving salt and washing after some time is also good.
Just kind of rubbing it on your skin and then
Skin,
washing it
yeah.
off.
Because
Right.
salt will heal also. Salt heals. I had a kind of a rash and I was thinking it's the watch. Then I moved the watch for 2 days and I simply put turmeric and salt and it healed.
In 2 days.
Yes.
Wow.
So we need to go back to the
Yes.
basics. We have gone very far and we are dust and we return to dust.
Yeah.
But how can we not have plants and leaves? I chew leaves in the morning.
What kind of leaves?
So tulsi leaves,
Wow.
because they go and they wherever parasites are in our body, they will make a difference. Our intestines need leaves to clean them up. Tulsi leaves, oregano leaves, basil leaves take off the aluminum mercury in our body. Even you can drink it as water.
Mhm.
So these are what the top guys need to have. Coffee is okay. It's a fad. It's a fashion. But it's not for the whole day. It's actually going to work against your clock. Because caffeine will keep you awake. That means your nervous system is awake when you have to sleep.
Wow. I think my biggest takeaway from this is as we are advancing so rapidly and in a fast way into the future with AI and all of that, what you are gently nudging us to do is to not forget tradition because I've been hearing about sit down and sip water for a very long time. Not that I've ever done it, but now that you're saying it, it just reminds me of all of that,
Yes. And so if we don't sit down and sip water, what the body is saying, take a break with me.
Mhm.
You sit down, you sip water, now you have calmed your senses. If you haven't rushed We haven't rushed our kidneys. This is very important in the long run. The liver and kidney is they are very important organs for us to live.
So, beyond stress in the working professionals' lives, there's also greater damages that are being experienced, such as burnout, fatigue, as well as focus issues.
This is all in the report.
Right.
It will show us at one shot.
And the solution is the same: take care of what you eat,
drink,
exercise, drink
exercise
water.
is very important, etc. And why I'm telling CEOs to go through this, there's a column in the report which says learning preference. Audio, visual, kinesthetic is the right way of doing it. Most of my reports are visual, kinesthetic, audio, or kinesthetic, visual, audio. So if the CEO or the recruitment person can see that this person is not getting what I'm saying, he knows where to put him in the job. The visual person is there, then the person can be trained to make it audio, visual, kinesthetic. I have two VPs above VPs actually. They are being sent because they will talk the first paragraph and the last paragraph to the client and not the in between paragraph. So, what is it? They just fast forward it. So, they may be right brain. We are still going to see what they are going to be. The right brain is you're all thinking the big picture, and he may be also creative. So, they're creating still. They're going into the beginning and the end. The client is not going to accept it. So the organization said, can you help them to talk? So what's the best way of doing it? Tell everything like a story.
Tell everything like a story.
Now you will connect all the dots, especially for people in art and visual arts, etc. They are visually made. So you need to tell them, talk like a story.
Okay.
Yeah, so where is the stress for top management? They don't know who these people are that has been recruited. They recruited them for skills, not knowing their EQ. So get your body rectified by walking on the grass first. Take all your tension out. What is physiotherapy? They are working with the joints that are not being light, which are being rigid. Rigid is your emotions have made your body rigid. What is arthritis? Your food is not right. Your emotions are not allowing the food to be digested right. Now the physiotherapist has to do all the physiotherapy.
I'm curious why you didn't mention breath work as yet. Is that something that comes under your...
No, it's needed.
Yeah.
But of course, I asked them to go to a yoga teacher and do breath work. But breath work is very needed. All the organs will wake up.
Yeah.
Sound and breath work together will actually wake up the body. If the body is not woken up, even if you eat food, it's not digested.
So, what, in your opinion, is the best way to start the day so that your body is fueled with energy that's sustainable?
See, if you feel you're overthinking, then have some music on. And with the music on, you can go make your water, whatever you wish. And don't first thing have some liquid in the body, but keep some nice music on. Because if you're going to overthink, then that overthink will take over your day spoiled. And no point.
Okay.
Food, there is no, your food won't be digested with your anxiety. And then you'll go and smoke. It will lead to one habit, will lead to the other. And you're actually going to make the body very tired.
So, you recommend starting the morning with music, any music of your choice that uplifts you.
Yes.
Have something to drink.
Yes.
Would you recommend
Something warm to drink? Sit down and drink something warm. Do one or two yoga poses. Do a tai chi or a movement that you can do. Go into the kitchen. Those who are depending on house helps and maids, I say you go into the kitchen and make what you want. You actually cause creating breathing in your body. When we do what we like, our body breathes. When we pour water for our plants, they're happy. Somebody who doesn't want to do it but is being paid to do it, that's different. The heir to the throne is different, the caretaker is different.
Elizabeth, you're such a passionate woman, so deeply knowledgeable and so clear in the way you communicate all of the information that you have. Why do you do what you do?
So basically, I have seen life.
Mm.
The 1990 war of Kuwait, I was actually I was flying on British Airways to Kuwait on the day of the war. And then I had to live through it. Okay, so it was very, just a story by itself.
What did you experience?
So because my mother was working in a palace, so I was taken through a convoy out. But I was also very glad to be with the Hashemite kingdom of Jordan and then experience their love towards the people. So I was there also actually serving the people at hardly 16, 17. And I also learned how to come out of the helicopter and serve the people. So very, I'm very grateful to Queen Noor and King Hussein because we had to go through Jordan. And then I was, of course, flown on Royal Jordan to India, which was not my ground.
Mm.
But I learned connecting with people at that time
Yeah.
because I was raised differently, but I saw people actually, they lose everything in that war and they are just running to save their life. But I could see it from a different place because I was convoyed out. Now, these are lessons I've learned through life. So, human behavior I've seen in the desert, human behavior. Then, when I was with Kuwait Airways, I also learned how to work with the ruling family and also how to handle different stress of the crew. Crew goes through a lot of stress. Qatar Airways also, because I was their media relations and publications officer. I was able to talk to crew. You all need to talk to people. If you feel someone's quiet, something is going to happen. Be sure.
Yeah, I agree.
You need to talk to them. And these factors of my 15 years of life in aviation and as a journalist as well, and also in the high seats that I have held, I practice it today with genetic behavior analysis because I have seen people suffer. Nobody will just commit suicide, it's pre planned. And our RGB report will say can they handle stress or not?
It's so interesting that you say that you came from a place of privilege, and you had the opportunity to serve people when they were going through a tough time during
Yes,
war,
yes, yes.
and that sort of sowed a seed in you to serve humanity.
Yes.
And then later, as you grew up, you watched human behavior very closely,
Yeah,
watched people commit
yeah.
suicide.
I looked top down. So my job was always top down,
Mhm.
even in Jamal Majid, where I was group corporate communications. And the first group corporate communications after 45 years of the operation of the company, I had to actually deal with what was in front of me, but nicely. The kings taught me something do it nicely. And so I learned to do it softly because it's human beings. And I have seen, other than Gulf War, I have seen crisis in aircraft, people crisis, home crisis, and as All India Radio anchor, and also in my journalistic style, I had to do the broken homes and emotional difficulties that women go through when they come from battered homes. Those were my storylines. I've seen enough, and today I sit on, I stand on their shoes and I work with them. Today, one of my trainers, he's totally molded by me from the age of 18. Then he could get into university. Today, he's doing child behavior, child development with me, and he's a journalist, and he's my co trainer. Another trainer I have, 6 years I trained her. Today, she is not only my co trainer, but she is also the CEO of an architectural company. It's being human. It's all about being human. And I give all the respects and praise to the present chairman and founder of Smart Inspiration UAE Training, whose passion meets my passion. Today, the vision of the company is towards global minds. But 5 years, our vision was leave no mind behind. So I owe all the credit for Smart Inspiration UAE training to Dr. Engineer Mohammed Ibrahim Al Ali, who is our founder and chairman. And he loves RGB analysis. He too is trained in RGB analysis and all the sciences which I'm doing.
Well, Elizabeth, it has been such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for all of these valuable insights. I
Thank you.
feel like I had my mouth open in absolute astonishment for half of it, just saying, really? I really enjoy these kind of conversations where I can learn more and dwell
Thank you.
deeper and find out ways in which we can improve our own lives and, like you said,
Yes.
serve humanity. These topics that were mentioned today are extremely important: burnouts, fatigue, a lack of focus, and then having to work and prove yourself. It's not an easy life for corporate professionals and business
Yes.
owners right now.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful that you came in. Everything
Thank
that
you.
you say sounds really simple and achievable, but the difficulty is in choosing
Yeah.
and making that shift.
And also in perseverance.
Perseverance,
And
absolutely.
that's what the report will show. Where
Absolutely.
is each person's perseverance? Where is each person's acceptance to change?
Even that has been defined already.
Yes.
So, this is so great. So, if any of you are struggling, going through a struggle right now, wondering, why do I feel stuck? Why am I not feeling as resilient as the others? Why am I feeling so anxious and frustrated all the time when my colleague who is sitting next to me manages the same thing and seems to be doing okay? So, instead of getting envy, let's just go out there and get ourselves checked. Is this something that is easily affordable, or is it too pricey?
No, it is 5,000 dirhams, and we have a payment plan or it can be paid once, but till we sort the person out, we don't let go.
That's fair. That's extremely fair. You spoke about humanity, but here you are
Yes.
displaying it.
Yes.
So here we are, an invitation for you to go get your RGB analysis test done. It's 5,000 dirhams in the
And get
UAE
trained.
and get trained in it as
Yes,
well.
yes.
And as we always do in our podcast, we believe in humanity and gifting it forward. So all of our guests out here, all of our audience out here, we invite them to mention in the comments and let us know what were their biggest takeaway and what have they implemented already start today and how are they feeling maybe a day later, right? So the top 3 comments letting us know what did you implement? What did you learn? What did you implement? And how you're feeling gets gifted something very special by Percy, Elizabeth Percy over here. Please, could you tell us what that is going to be?
So the top three can get the Power of You series, which I train, and instead of we give it at 1,800, you can be gifted at 900 dirhams. This is a 3 series takeaway, which is the power of you, the power of thought, and the power of words. It's an 18-hour session. That means once a week you can come and take 2 hours training, but it should needs to be continuous so that you know who you are. We'd also like we would also like that, if I can have 10 professional CEOs, then I can do an awareness session.
Okay, that's a lot. First of all, you're giving 50% off
Yes.
for this wonderful series, and
Yes.
then also to the CEOs.
Yes.
We'll definitely put that message out. And is there anything else you'd like to tell our audience?
I would say today RGB analysis is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Whether it's for you or your child and he's over 6 years, we would like to see that child because we'll take it all quietly because they're doing well in schools. That's not the answer. Doing well in school is not the answer. To do well in life is the answer.
Love that.
Suppose your child is doing very well in school and his behavior is bad. Nobody can play with him and he doesn't have friends. So will he grow like that? Okay, now you haven't taken care of his behavior and he's top notch in his studies and he's got the best certificates in the world, but he cannot manage an office. Will he stay long in that office? No.
Or relationships.
Relationships. Today I'm seeing that the father and the mother are not connected. Once upon a time, they felt this was the right relationship. But when the children come to my office and they're sleeping during training, and then when we ask the mothers what happened, they'll say, we're going through dysfunctional homes. Please, if you want a good child, a dysfunctional home will not do. I have mothers who take care alone, but the dad's not around at all. It won't work. Without the authority of the father, the child will not be able to have a life of authority. It'll always push back. Girls need their dads, boys need their moms. To the girl, the dad has to be very sweet. To the boys, the mom has to be very sweet. The dad can be a little tough. This psychology is important. Children today, so many things we hear about them. Why do they run to the iPad? Where is the dad and mom? In my class, I don't see anyone running to the iPad. So our techniques are with clay, art, writing. Go and see what's beyond. And we have an area called the Beehive, the building where I'm. So we make the trainers take the children there. So they work on the big chessboard or the football. Children need an environment. Fathers, you are not available. You really need to think because your child will reflect that after 20 or after 13. I do have a situation now. The child is not talking, not because anything is wrong with his physiology or neural system. It's just too anxious. Children who beat their parents, it's not the child's fault. The environment is wrong. They're concerned, they're fearful, they're children, it's emotional brain. So these are some of the things we have to take care. Children don't perform in school. I would say, let's see what's happening why they don't perform. Don't beat the child immediately. You're the reason as parents and as homemakers. You're the reason. Teachers need to be aware that there's something wrong with the home. That's why the child is not performing. Do you have the right space for your children to study? Do you have the right space for them to grow? And there's this new thing where people like to stay in shared homes. No, you cannot do that. Energies matter. You need to have your own home. You can't share with anyone. Energies matter.
I love that you ended with a focus on families.
Yes.
Because everything starts at home and then we
Yes.
take that to work, right? I can't thank you enough for
Thank
your time, your energy, your wisdom, and
you.
all of that you brought with you. Thank you for everything.
Thank
and
you.
we're definitely, I can't wait to come to your workspace
Please.
and take a look at your trainings. Thank you for the
Yes.
invitation.
Yes. Most welcome.
And meanwhile, everyone, such a pleasure, such an honor having you join us today. Thank you for your time. It's valuable to me as well. I certainly hope that you took a whole lot of wisdom, a whole lot of practical tools and strategies that are simple or may not even sound simple, but just like Elizabeth said, just start, make those small changes, and then see how your life evolves to something even better than it is right now. Thank you for joining us. We would really appreciate that you subscribe to our channel and drop us comments. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.